Alrighty guys, g'day. How are we all doing this morning? Hope we're all well. Good morning, good afternoon, and as always, a pleasant evening. Welcome ladies and gents, those of you in the chat, hope you're all doing well. Appreciate you for joining. And I hope you've had a good start to the week, training wise and personally. For me, got a trade yesterday, eventually. Did send the analysis in, obviously, with the NY update video, which I did post prior, well, pretty early, pre-NY, kind of between that London and pre-NY sort of hours. Nice entry here. I've just left it. I turned my PC off and I just thought I'm at break even. I'm just going to leave it. And it hit full TP, which is good. So, yeah, I was wrapped with that, to be honest. But yeah, obviously we'll go through the charts, take a look at, see what we've got moving forward today. We'll also have a look at news. Obviously some high impact news to come, but that is later on during the MY session with consumer confidence. So it'd be interesting to see what comes out of that. We also have some orange fold news prior to it, just before the MY open. So that could also shake things up a little bit. Otherwise, for our session, not a lot going on, so it should be pretty right to go. Now, let's take a look. As always, let's start with GJ. And I'll say good day to Steve. And if anyone else is in the chat, feel free to say hello. Don't be shy. Yeah, so I'll get going, guys. Without further ado, let's start with, as always, GJ. All right, so looking at GJ once again on the weekly. Previous weekly did close back bearish. I'm just going to switch over to the chart I use for the markups for the weekly time frame, as it hasn't opened with a gap. May have to actually change these charts over for the stream. I've noticed lately that a wonder is the one to go off, because forex.com tends to have gaps left, right, and center on the higher time frame. Excuse me. Looking at the weekly, obviously we can see previous weekly candle once again closed with a long wick to the upside, closing back a weak bullish candle. Current candle low so far has respected the low of the previous weekly candle and is pulling deeper into the high of that previous weekly candle. Back above that resistance here to the left, we'll see what we've got once we go down to the lower time frames to give us any indication as to why we perhaps should continue to the upside against that long wick rejection on the previous weekly candle. Looking at daily, what we can see is previous daily did close back bullish. Structure wise, we are technically bullish, as we can see to the left hand side here. We're back above that resistance. We've closed back above it. We've closed that bullish candle to confirm support at a previous level of resistance. So I'm just going to mark in the high of that previous daily candle. Go back to the other chart for the time being. I'm going to mark in the high of that previous daily candle. As we can see, once we begin to break above the high of that candle, some pretty clean traffic on the higher time frame to perhaps continue to the upside. Obviously, we're creating a higher low, higher high on that daily time frame, which gives us counter probabilities to continue to the upside. We're also going to mark in the current daily candles low, and we're going to see what we've got once we go down to the 4-hour and the M30 time frame. So we're technically bullish on the daily, technically bullish on the weekly. If we are to look at the 4-hour, now onto the 4-hour, sorry, we can obviously see still technically in an uptrend. Has created that pullback. Now, interesting to see, we created a lower high, but we've also created a higher low. And if we begin to break above that previous daily candle's high, looking to the left, we do have some margin to continue to the upside based off the 4-hour time frame. Just going to mark in, obviously, the most recent resistance and support. I may adjust that when I go down to the M30. I'm going to also mark in the resistance as potential target to the upside. And what we can see at the current daily candles low, we have that support in the 4-hour, and we do have some clean traffic below that level. So I'll leave it for the M30 to mark in a zone below it, but we could be potentially looking for sells below that level. And obviously at this stage, based off the 4-hour time frame and the daily time frame, there's a high probability we could look for potential buys above that previous daily candles high. By the way, guys, just let me know the volumes are okay. The music, I've got a feeling my microphone's a bit loud, but yeah, hopefully it's not. All right, so now onto the M30. All right, so we can just adjust these a little bit. I'm gonna leave the zones as is, and what I can see is we are technically we still remain bearish on the M30, believe it or not. This snap one being impulse to the downside all sounds good. Cheers, and good to see you in the chat, Tony. We do remain technically bearish as long as we remain above this swing point here. Obviously, this is the lowest point the market got to. We have not closed below it at all. We almost did just here, but failed to do so. So at this stage, we still remain bearish in the M30. Now, once again, above that previous daily candles high, we have some clean traffic to the left. Do we have the margin? Looks like we will have the margin. We've got about, yeah, not a great deal, but it makes sense upon continuation above that bullish previous daily candles high with clean traffic on the higher time frame, that being the 4-hour and the daily, for price to potentially continue to the upside. What I prefer to see, obviously, is the closure above, a tap in, and then look for continuation buys as price begins to pull away. Further options could be on perhaps the limit order. If price just begins to take off and closes significantly above the current previous daily high, then I could potentially look for that limit order as price pulls back to tap into that zone. As for sells, well, we are respecting that previous daily candles high. Long wick into that zone could potentially be options. Let's see what we've got in the M15. What I prefer to see right now is a 15-minute candle closing back below, closing bearish engulfing, and at that point there, we'll close back below support formed at resistance. We'll be closing back almost a doji or a bearish candle, and I feel that could be potential options to take an early sell, to aiming for obviously the support at the opposite end of the range. Got about 2 minutes to wait on that, but that is the rule I'll be seeing just now. I'll be looking for the 15-minute to close right at the low of that bullish candle, preferably just below it if I am to consider any potential sales at this point. Seeing also just based off that previous daily candle, I feel it could be a chance that we could begin to break above that previous daily candle's high, and that could be the buy option. But again, as long as we respect it, then we may potentially get some sells at this stage. Gonna wait about a minute and a half if I am to contemplate that sell option. Further sell options below the current daily candle's low. Once again, it's a lot cleaner on the higher time frame. At that point there, you can say we're rejecting the 4-hour zone, which was the previous daily candle's high. We'd be carrying that lower low as well, equal high, lower low. So at that point there, I feel we could get some potential sell options below that previous daily, below the current daily candle low at around that 121 to 60. So sells below, buys above, anything between, just playing the range. So that's GJ, guys. Hopefully it all makes sense. And now I'm gonna move on to take a look at the gold. By the way, guys, if anyone wants a link to the Zoom chat or Zoom call, I will pop that. I will send it over to you guys shortly. I might just pop it into the chat again like I did yesterday, because it's not all a great deal of people on stream. So I trust that you guys will, in good faith, that you're not going to cause a ruckus on stream. It should be all good. All right. So it looks like it's going to close just a little bit too strong. I'm going to wait patiently for GJ at this stage. Wait for one more candle. Even if it's a 15-minute, if we start to close below the support, I may potentially look for a sell option. We've got no upper wick, so yeah, definitely want to see it pull back to create that upper wick. We'll see where we're at in about 15 minutes. Without further ado, let's have a look at gold. So pretty much at the same level we're at yesterday on gold. I could almost leave these zones in, but if I draw them in again, I'll start it fresh as we always should do. And let's take a look at the gold. It's just stuck in a range. You can obviously see it on the M30. It's more evident also, or the high time frame resembles consolidation. Very little direction. Very difficult to know what to make of it just now. But once again, let's do the analysis starting at the weekly time frame. Once again, previous weekly candle to me is a weak bullish candle. As long as we respect the low of it, then obviously there is a chance that we will continue to the upside. Once again, that previous weekly candle did bounce off that resistance to the left hand side. Not a great deal of volume within the current weekly candle. Just going to mark in the low of that previous day's candle, which is obviously the current weekly candle. See what I've got below it. Doesn't look like we're going to have much, so I'll probably just remove it for the time being. Daily, structure wise, we remain bullish. Previous daily candle doesn't give us a great deal of indication as to what direction we could trend in. Obviously it's closed a weak bullish candle, leaving a long wick to the upside. Usually that would suggest to me that there is a chance that that candle's grabbed that liquidity from the upside, and we begin to break the low of that candle, we could continue to the downside. The issue on gold is we're right out of support, so it's not going to be as simple as it sounds to look for that potential sell. Onto the 4-hour time frame. And this is where it becomes really evident as to the choppiness right now. Just consolidating, absolutely no direction whatsoever. The structure, it is still technically bullish. Fine, it's bullish across the board. Just gonna mark in my zones of support and resistance, and it's basically gonna be the same levels as yesterday. What I can do now is, though, yesterday at the same time we didn't quite have that bullish candle closure just yet. Obviously that happened just after the stream. What I was saying is we can't drag this support up until we actually have the confirmation of a bullish candle closing back, obviously bullish, after that bearish candle. So now what I can do is just drag this up. I'll probably just do that for the time being, and at least we don't have to travel as far to tap into support to look for potential buys from the lows. I'll just drag this down a little bit. All right, as you can see right now, irrespective of structure, which is still technically bullish on EM30 as well, it's bullish across the board. We're just stuck in this narrow range right now on gold. When I see it like this, I have no interest whatsoever in trading it. So what I need to do and what I want to see is price do one of two things: pull up to retest the resistance, the 4-hour resistance at the high, look for rejection to potentially sell it, or look for price to pop down towards the support to look for a bounce off that support and look for my confirmations to potentially buy it from support. Now anything in between, again, I just need price to create a clean move. If it does create a clean move down, I'll need to reject, bounce off the support and vice versa, off the resistance, pull back and creates a clean move, starts to open up this range, help through some of this mess. Then it makes it easier to trade the range, but at the moment it's just a mess, an absolute mess with no clear direction at all. So I'm just going to avoid gold for the time being. Obviously that means the focus will be on GJ moving forward. I will eventually do analysis also on GU, possibly NAS. Well, I will do NAS also at some point. So let's go back to GJ and we'll just focus on GJ for the time being. Once again, guys, I apologize if I do regularly clear my throat. In the meantime, to those 8 of you on stream presently, thank you. Steve, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. Dream Lifestyle, good to see you. Franco, brother, hope you're well. Great to have you on stream. Mr. Tony Lyons, good to have you, mate. Hope you're well. And Ian, good morning to you, my friend. Cardi Hack, great to have you on stream too, mate. So everyone's familiar names, I appreciate it, boys. Thanks for the support, Mr. Tommy Jordan, as always. Zoom, I was sending Zoom links privately for the time being. You guys are welcome to come on, have a chat, say good day. Tommy, if you're listening, I'll send you one on Telegram. It's up to you if you want to jump on or not. Gotta get your WhatsApp, by the way, man. Franco, I just sent you a link if you're interested. Mr. Ben Chamberlain, I'm not sure if you're up and about, but I've sent you a link. Ian, if you like a link, let me know as well, mate. Let me know and I'll happily send it across to you. JMO, good to have you on stream. I hope you're well, brother. Been a while. 54k for as well. Good to have you come across. Welcome. Hope you guys are well. So right now we're just looking at GJ potential sells, maybe on rejection, but I'd like to see at least a 15-minute close back below, seeing form this support just at the highs, this resistance. If we get that confirmation, then I may look for a potential sell option. Otherwise, potential buys above upon continuation above the previous daily candle's high makes perfect sense to me. And otherwise, buys from lower down or sells from below the current daily candle's low. 54k for my pleasure as well. So once again, let's have a look at news. So there's obviously consumer confidence to come out, which is forecast to be same as previous. So consumer confidence obviously reflects the confidence of the public, of the public spending. I suppose that's a good thing for an economy, which could lead to inflation though, which could also lead to higher interest rates. But interesting to see what comes out of that. And tomorrow we've got CPI for the Aussie dollar. Yeah, off the way, all good. Not a problem, my friend. Wow, look at Bitcoin. I just noticed that. So that's an all-time high, isn't it? Well, not quite. We may look at Bitcoin a little bit later on, but we'll just focus on GJ. I'm gonna do GU just now. I'll analyze GU. Ooh, GU. Interesting. All right. So taking a look at GU, structure-wise, the M30 is definitely flipped, so that's a good thing for potential buy options. As I mentioned yesterday, at a very key level of support on the higher time frame, did we have the daily closing back bullish? We did. So that's your first catalyst to suggest that maybe we're ready to continue to the upside. We do remain bullish as well. I did say yesterday, this is the optimal level to begin to look for buys, but you don't really have any higher time frame confirmation just yet. But what you do have now is that daily higher low, higher high. You've broken obviously the high of that previous candle, which was a bullish candle. This suggests to me is a chance that price could potentially continue to the upside. We are again technically bullish in structure. Onto the 4-hour time frame, that is technically bearish. However, we have just broken above a little bit of consolidation. Still have an hour and 50 minutes to confirm a closure above it. Do have room to the upside though. I'd just be marking that level in. I'd also be marking the most recent support. As for resistance, I'll wait for the M30, the current level, and just see what we've got. Obviously just broken out of a M30 resistance. I'm just going to leave it at that for the time being. So bearish, but we do have candles forming higher lows, higher highs. Current candle forming quite a strong bullish candle with some room to the upside. Onto the M30. Now I'm just going to draw in a zone. I actually want to incorporate the high of that previous daily candle, so I'm just going to include that bullish wick for the time being. And we have tapped into it. Could have been potential limit order, potentially. But right now at GU, it's kind of awkward with that long wick to the upside. I would prefer to be honest, for it to create a clean move, then pull back to tap in. I think it's one of those ones where you probably now just get best to wait for possibly London open. So wait for this candle to close, see where we're at. If it does flip back bullish, I think it's a high probability that price will continue to the upside. That could be the earliest possible entry. The M30 structure is technically bullish. I'd be looking for potential buys above, obviously. Possibly could have been in some impulse entries. Would have doubted it though, obviously, with that no wick to the downside, sorry, prior to breaking out. Now, what I would say though is, seeing we've broken out, we have really no need to pull back down below at 126.50. And if we begin to do so, we get a strong closure below on that M30 time frame. And I think there is a high probability at that point there we will retrace potentially back down to the support at 126.370. So for me, I would definitely contemplate selling GU back below that previous resistance, and otherwise wait for your buy options at the lows. That is probably how I'd be playing GU for the time being. I'd wait and see how this candle closes for the time being. Looking at M15, yeah, I'd want to see probably the 30-minute closure first. TJ, nothing really going on. 15-minute is not going to close back below by the looks of it. I'll wait for this candle's close, it's M15, and then I'll do some analysis on NAS. Thank you to whoever subscribed, by the way. Tommy, Jordan, and Franco, good day to you guys. Hope you're well.
G'day, mate. How are we?
Fantastic, my friend. Had a pretty productive day, busy day. So not bad for an old man. But yeah. How about yourself?
Hey, just have a scan, see what's going on this morning.
Yeah. You sound like you're in a dunny or something, man.
Oh, really?
just breaking up a little bit.
Have a quick look. What are you classing yourself as an old man there, Justin? Flexing out.
Mate, honestly, starting to feel it. I've got to get back into the gym. Energy levels are low when I'm not at the gym, to be honest, so gotta get cracking. Why have I got issues on my end? I always have issues on my end with the stream. I have no idea why. Alright, so it's not going to close back bearish. Franco, good day to you, mate. How's things? Not sure if you can hear me. I think you're on mute. Can't hear you, my friend. I can see you trying to chat, but I can't hear you. No, now you're actually on mute. So if you unmute yourself, see if it works. Yeah, try now.
Okay.
Yep, now I've got you. Finally. How are you, my friend? Long time.
Fine, and you?
Yeah, good.
Long time.
Very good. Obviously, I was away for a fair while, but yeah, everything all good?
Yeah, for the moment, yes.
Yeah, I think you must be listening to the audio on YouTube because there's that delay. There shouldn't be a delay on Zoom.
Correct.
But nonetheless, good to have you here. Thank you for your support. How about yourself? Are you looking at any trade in particular just now, or?
Yes, I wanted to. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, wanted to look for a GU buy.
Okay. Yeah.
But there was this bullish candle without a lower wick.
Right.
And I decided not to go in.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision, to be honest. There's always that doubt, that element of doubt that it will pull back to create its lower wick, and obviously in this case it probably would have given you almost enough to start securing. However,
correct.
It's one of those ones, how comfortable do you feel knowing that it could pull back to create that lower wick? But right now I'd be waiting to see where this M30 candle closes, and if it does actually close back below this zone, I think there could be some pretty nice sell options.
Yeah, I think also.
Yep, nice one. I'm looking at similar on GJ. Yeah, so I'm just going to be waiting for the 30-minute. 15-minute doesn't give me a lot of confidence. It's just indecisive. Pretty much just consolidating out that resistance. And as long as we remain, we'll continue to close above it. I'm not all that keen. I'd rather just wait now at this stage for the 30-minute. And if it gives me my option, fantastic. It's a game of patience. That's what it is, in all honesty. It's the hardest part of trading. I mean, a lot of you guys probably know that. A lot of you've all heard me say it countless times, but it's just so true. It tests you, because this is tempting to say, right, we're ready to continue. We're rejecting that resistance. We've tapped in. We've got that one wick to the upside. It's definitely tempting us into a potential sell, but for me, from personal experience, I'd rather just, at this stage, just wait. Just wait for that extra confirmation. If I get it, fantastic. If not, so be it.
Justin, you know that you are the master of patience.
Oh, thank you. That is my strength. Definitely my strength. But it's good to see it's rubbing off on you guys. I know for a fact it's been, you know, working for you.
Yeah.
I've had other traders also similar, stories where they've lacked just the discipline and patience, and having a few solid set rules definitely helps. You guys, do us a favor if you can just like the stream. It's funny, yesterday I had more likes than peak viewers for the most part of the stream. Alright, so GJ potentially coming down. Even the 5-minute, look at that. I don't know, for me that doesn't give me confidence, to be honest. Ben, all good brother. Have I sent you I think I sent you a link. Yeah, I did. Gold, just nothing. How about you? Yeah, GU probably looks the best at the moment. I got 9 minutes to wait, so I'm just quickly going to analyze NAS. I know I have a few that I coach trade. Wow, it's made a pretty big push in the last few candles, which is not quite sure why. But let's take a look at it. Looking at a weekly, once again, gaps the upside on this particular provider, Blackpool. Did close a strong bullish candle. Current candle has created a significant lower wick to grab some more liquidity and is now flipped back bullish. We begin to break the high into new all-time highs. Once again, we'll probably likely to continue to the upside. Daily structure bullish. Don't yet have a daily candle closing back bullish, but once again, we've got a long wick rejection. Pretty much back, still around that resistance. That again suggests to me perhaps grab liquidity, so that could be the weekly grabbing its liquidity. That could be potentially the low of the weekly candle, and we've broken the high of that previous daily candle. With scope for us to continue to the upside, obviously at a resistance on that higher time frame. Looking at the 4 hour, we're basically tapping into that resistance here to the left. It's very shallow zone. See if we can widen that a little bit in the M30. Seeing it's such a big asset class, I'd rather have a slightly bigger zone than that. As for support, probably just mark that in for the time being. So it's definitely bullish on across the board by the looks of it. The M30 has flipped bullish. Yeah, all right. So NAS looks great for continuation buys above that previous daily candle's high. Sorry, above the resistance, the 4-hour resistance at this point here. Obviously, clean traffic to the left. It is in a huge uptrend. It has, as it has been throughout the past, since I've been away, pretty much all year, hasn't it? Probably just drag this down a little bit. What I would say on NAS though, however, we are at a resistance, so if we do tap into it, begin to reject, I'd like to see a bit of structure form at those highs and start to look for my lower highs, lower lows scenario for any potential sell option. However, I would preferably just stick to the buys. It is in, like I said, such a big uptrend. We don't have any higher time frame candle other than daily. I mean, the 4-hour is forming a very strong bullish candle. So what I would prefer to see is if I was to sell within the current 4-hour, which I personally would be trading it during London session, I'd want it to tap into that resistance, begin to reject, start to form that structure, lower highs, lower lows on the M30 time frame, and then potentially look for the sell option. Otherwise, it's just a matter of patience once again, and look to the left to see where price potentially could pull back to continue its way back up. Obviously, we've got this previous level here to the left that we had just broken out of. If we, the most recent level, or other than this one, we've got 2 levels potentially, but I would be looking at this level here, that 18,350 roughly, and wait for price to pull back to that resistance to see if it forms a support, and that could be closer to MY session for potential buy options as well. And again, that could be a potential sell point as long as we start to form that lower high, lower low scenario, and perhaps come closer to MY session, we begin to consolidate around this level and start to pop below it. Could be some potential sell options at that point there on NAS. I'm just going to put sells. Also going to put sells from these highs. And that will be it. And now to GJ. So that's NAS. GJ will be considering potential sells. Now, what will the stop loss be? It's not wide. It's not a great deal of volume at all. It looks a lot wider than what it actually is. Gold not looking great. With the thing is with GJ, you're taking an anticipation of 4 hours going to make a deeper pullback. It's forming quite a strong bullish candle. But if you get that engulfing candle, that is a candleless candle in my opinion, that could provide some potential sell options. Not a great deal of margin within the current range. About 11 pips, 10 pips to this support. But yeah, I want to see a bit of an engulfing closure. Definitely a strong closure. I want it to pull back too far, leaving a long wick. So we'll see. We've got just under 4 minutes to wait. Morning to you, Ben.
Morning, mate. How we doing?
All good, mate.
About to...
Scoping.
Morning, morning.
Scoping potential GJ sells.
Are we now?
Potential. How about you?
First time coming to the chart, so
okay.
I'm just gonna have a look and just remark up.
Yeah.
EU.
Looking similar to you. Yeah, fair enough. Could be potential buyers upon the pullback. Yeah, Ben, I can hear you, man. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I Have I muted myself?
I don't know. Is that better?
Yeah, it's all good. I can hear. Could hear the first time.
Yeah. All good. All good.
Geek newspaper. Finally, we've got one. For me, at this stage, I'd rather, by looking at the M30 is definitely an uptrend, so I prefer to look for a potential buy. The issue is it's currently in a bit of a pullback phase. The sells, do you have the margin to take it back down to the lows? It's about to tap into this previous resistance it's recently broken out of. I'd probably at this stage prefer for it to pop below that level. If it forms a little bit of consolidation around that level and then begins to pop below it, I think it could be more solid options to take the counter trend sell. Otherwise, I'd just be waiting to see how price reacts to this previous resistance to potentially buy it. Look at the high time frames. You have high, low, high, high in a daily. 4 hour also. So I'll probably just wait to see how it reacts to that resistance. I'm gonna keep an eye on GJ. So obviously I want it to pull back to create an upper wick. Geek newspaper, man, I'm not sure what that means, to be honest. Keep it to English if you can, my friend. So I wanted to leave a low wick. I want it to continue to drop in the last 30 seconds. It's just going to eat into our margin completely, which it looks to be the case. We're not going to have the margin, but it looks of it. No, you've got 9 pips. Just tell me Viva Morocco. Oh, fair enough, mate. Welcome. Glad to have you on stream. In the chat. DJ. Well, it's got no lower wick, so I'd write that off completely. It's just my personal preference. What overall I prefer to have. Yeah, so it's nothing for me. And we're on gold. Gold, I'm patiently waiting for the exact same scenario as yesterday. Once pulled back to that 4 hour zone, whilst it's just consolidating as is, I have no interest whatsoever. How did you close? Back to this chart. Yeah, not quite. Yeah, so EU, I'd just be waiting for it to pull back to tap into that previous resistance. What I consider a sell limit, a buy limit, sorry, not a sell limit, potentially. It's not a pair that I do trade, but it is a pair that I probably will pick up because I want to analyze it a little bit more. I think it's always good just to have a few different options. Obviously, GJ is not a pair when I do start to trade NY that, I mean, I think it probably makes more sense to trade a US dollar pair at that point. Obviously, I'd be trading gold, which is tied to the US dollar. But it would make sense to me to trade maybe EU or GU also. So I may pick up one of those pairs. Kind of like EU, you've got both sessions open. With GJ, you've only obviously got the London session still open up until a certain point during the NY session. Geek newspaper, you want to take sell on EU? Okay. Well, you got one catalyst. You got well, 2 tied into one. You got a liquidity grab within this candle, and it's also closed bearish engulfing. So what that to me suggests is we've grabbed liquidity from the upside. If we were to continue bullish, we really have no need to break the low of that previous bullish candle, let alone actually close below it. So it would make sense for it to continue to the downside. My only concern is this previous resistance, which we have not yet retested. Have we done so on the 5 minute at least? Not even. So had we have just say closed above, pulled back to immediately tap in, then made the move to the upside, then I would have considered that sell. This stage we haven't retested it, so I feel that it could just bounce off it potentially. It may not. It may just melt back to support. But I'll have to wait and see. GJ. Yeah, so it's just a matter of comfort. What's the plan for today, mate? Ben, you're off to work, eh?
Yeah, I think off to work today.
Yeah.
We're moving house at the end of next week, so
Yeah.
they came and collected loads of. Well, they've pretty much taken everything. So I'm currently sat on the sofa with a cardboard box as my desk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, head to work after this.
Yeah.
Touch
You
base
must be
there a
loving
little
that,
bit.
mate.
Needs must sometimes.
Mate, I've stayed in a few shoe boxes in my life, pretty much. But yeah, I don't know the feeling.
Typical blokes, you just need a TV,
Yeah.
a sofa, and you just get by, don't you?
That was exactly the
Yeah.
main thing. Something to watch and something to sleep on and sit on.
Yeah, mattress on the floor, sound.
Exactly.
Yep. How about you? How's your day been?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Just obviously helping out the family as I do while I'm here. But yeah, it wasn't a bad day. Really nice weather as well. For a change. Not hot, but nice and sunny. About 22 degrees, I think it was today. So
Take that. Quite nice.
yeah, considering it's the end of obviously it's autumn now. So but it's gonna be a nice weekend. And obviously, for Good Friday, got the family around for a barbecue, so perfect conditions. It's supposed to be 30. Looking
Couple of
forward to
beers?
that. Yeah, maybe I gotta actually buy some to have some, but got some gin in the pantry, so I might have
good
to
man.
make do with that.
I've just looked at the weather for our weekend. Friday, light rain showers, fresh breeze. Saturday, much the same. Monday, raining.
And what's that? 5 degrees? Or?
13 degrees.
No, it's
so
not that bad. It's not good,
getting
but
pretty toasty.
pretty toasty. Wow,
Yeah.
toasty.
Oh, it's depressing, isn't it?
I'd be in my like you'd look at me like I'm going to the snow if it was 13 degrees, and that's no joke. I'd be that covered up. Some might say harden up, but just not keen on cold conditions.
Softies, you
Aussies, there we are.
Yeah.
Definitely. Although we should be used to all those of us in the
You should be.
southeast, we should really be used to it. It's probably worse here than what it is for you guys. Honestly. I mean, Tommy you probably know. Not from Sydney, but you've been to Melbourne, so you probably know what it's like. So there we go. So that validates why I didn't want to take that sell on GJ without that lower wick, because now it's obviously pulled back. Would have given you enough margin to secure? I don't think so. No, 5 pips.
Are you still aiming for? Sorry.
Sorry, Ben. No, I was talking. I was like, oh, I'm muted.
Yeah, obviously.
But yeah, no. Melbourne's better than England, but I don't think it's as good as Sydney with weather.
Yeah, Sydney is shits all over Melbourne, to be honest, man. The weather. It's more stable. And it's warmer, obviously.
Adelaide, Justin, is that like, I know it's close, but is it sort of different weather there?
In Adelaide's usually a couple of degrees warmer than Melbourne, but otherwise it's the same because we get the same weather patterns filtering through from the west across to the east of the country, and they lie pretty much in the same axis, same level as Melbourne, Adelaide, a little bit higher up, so it's a little bit warmer, a couple of degrees warmer, but basically the same. And then you obviously Perth's maybe again a degree or two warmer than Adelaide, so it's just Melbourne and Tasmania and Hobart where you get the brunt of it. We cop it during winter.
That's what I was gonna say. Is Tasmania sort of cold as well? Or
Oh, that's the worst, man. It's close to the Arctic. I mean, it's the closest, I think, island to the Arctic. Antarctica, sorry. Antarctic. So
if I ever do move to Sydney, I'd miss a bit at home. I'd just fly to
fly to Hobart, mate. Why not? just you'll get that Arctic breeze and oof, mate, not pleasant.
At home.
Either there, or you go back to, or you come down to Melbourne, come say g'day to me, and go down to Phillip Island because it's pretty much the same shit. Just this small island on the bay, out in the bay, and it's freezing. Gets battered by wind in all directions.
Okay. I'll bear that in mind.
Always welcome, my friend. Are you back up? Yeah, it's still, like I said, I want to see it tap in. See, right now, it could be potentially forming classic break and retest, but you won't obviously have that confirmation until you have two things. You need, obviously, the pullback to actually tap into that previous resistance. Then you need confirmation. You want confirmation of M30 candle closing back bullish. Excuse me. So waiting for that confirmation might mean you miss the move, whether you want to wait for a 15-minute candle. But to be honest, yeah, I'd just rather wait for that 30-minute confirmation. Unless you're looking for the limit order, the potential limit order buy back at the high of this previous resistance. That's the only other option, in my opinion, if I was to look to potentially buy EU just now. Tommy, mate, you'd be happy to see Bitcoin on its merry way, continuing to the upside.
Yeah, it's going.
Unreal. 71k yet again. Yeah, I still think once the halving actually happens, there'll be a sell-off. That's what I personally think. It may pump though. It could do the complete opposite. Who knows?
Well, it actually come down a lot lower than this before the halving, because obviously it broke all-time highs, ejected, and I thought it'd have a sell-off from there. Didn't expect it to pump again.
To pump again. Yeah. Yeah, I think it will possibly up until a couple of days before. And then you're probably likely going to have some whale just come in and just dump their bags.
Yeah.
It's always the concern, well, always was the concern for me with crypto. Waking up and you've lost like half your capital because someone just decided to dump some whale. Obviously, it's not that much of a concern right now, seeing them only hold about literally like 500 Cardano. That's all I have right now.
Is that all you got? Is that what you're holding, mate?
Yeah, that's all I have, man. I sold out. I had to pay for things. Not this time around. This is last October. Unfortunately, it was a crypto wallet which had to be emptied. Spewing, because literally about a week after I sold my Solana, it pumped. It hasn't stopped since. And now, wow. So now I want to actually delete all these from the watch list because it's just so depressing. But at the same time, I gotta focus on the actual trading. I'm a bit inconsistent with it. I start trading the crypto and then I stop trading the crypto. I think that's with Forex, you gotta actually put in the time.
Yeah. It's like, if you look at this halving with the Bitcoin, obviously if Bitcoin comes down, hopefully it'll bring everything else down with it for a little while to
Yeah,
give you the
exactly.
opportunity to get in.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure about Solid, but there are a few others. I mean, I probably wouldn't mind getting involved in Rune. Maybe even a few gaming tokens eventually down the track.
I think the thing, like a lot of meme coins are doing big numbers at the minute.
Yeah, that's the sign that the market is just ecstatic, going crazy. Because you get your average Joe who has probably no idea about crypto, and they just see this frog coin or dog coin and whatever it is, and see everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. That's exactly what they want, because soon enough they're just gonna dump the crap out of it.
Taxi driver tells you to buy £50 worth of it, you buy it and all of a sudden you're a millionaire the next day and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you don't cash out, and then you wake up the following day and it's all gone yet again. Always have that conversation, honestly. Every time I'm on the way to the airport and I'm in an Uber, always have that conversation. What do you think about crypto? Always the same thing. I heard about this coin and no idea, my friend. No idea. But yeah, my focus is on the stock market just now. Still some good value in that, I feel. No, obviously not the Magnificent Seven. That's just, yeah, way overvalued. But some of the others, some other stocks, good solid companies. So trying to eventually build a position once I've the cash to do so.
I'll take a look at like Coinbase and like the actual exchanges, Justin. Just something else. If this is going to be our next like bull run, the actual exchanges like your Coinbase, you know, FTX ain't no more.
Oof, wow. I remember this thing was down at about 50 not all that long ago. October.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
So they actually do leverage positions as well. Just, I don't know if you've got a broker you use to trade or buy and sell your stocks, but trading 212 they do like a leverage position, like a 3x leveraged.
Oh, okay.
And I bought quite a lot of Coinbase before it pumped, and it was a nice little period.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow. Smart play, mate. A very smart play.
No, it just reminded me of the thing of like the gold market thing. It's like the people that made the most money, the people that sold the shovels. And I was like, wow, okay, well that's the thing. It's probably like the actual exchanges that hold the crypto should do some damage. So that was sort of my thinking behind it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get ready to absolutely short the crap out of Coinbase and all the exchanges when things start to go down under.
Put your fingers on toes crossed that the halving don't go the other way.
Well, it could well do. Who knows, mate? With crypto, the Wild West. It's anyone's guess, to be honest. You can do the technical analysis. I'm not sure. Well, fundamentals, yeah, obviously with the halving, that type of thing. Regulations and all that type of thing. But when it pumps or dumps, there is absolutely really no way, in my opinion, to accurately predict when it's going to happen. I mean, technically looking at it, actually it looks pretty good. Would have been maybe an option just here. Yeah, again, it's something I have to look at. I trade on Bybit.
Yeah. Let's get a nice close above, tap back and go.
On Bitcoin? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, on that 30 then.
Well, it's tapping back into that resistance just now. If it flips, she's off.
Yeah. Price stops in.
Yeah, it's tempting. Geek newspaper, all good, my friend. Glad you are enjoying. How's EU going? All right, so it's tapped into that zone. So now. Let's see if it respects it or it's gonna just continue to drop below it. But if you did get in a sell, well done. You did say you want to sell it, so how long? 13, just under 13 minutes till the open. This is not what we want, GJ, though. At this stage, if it remains below its resistance after rejecting it and begins to form another support, we're just essentially consolidating within this choppy level. The more data we print, the more difficult it becomes to trade. So this move up would have opened it up a little bit, but seeing we're now pulling back after forming that resistance, again, it just prints more choppy candles within this range and resembles consolidation, which means at that point there, it's in my opinion a lot safer just to wait for price to clear the range, either to the upside or downside for potential entry options. Which, once again, yesterday, if you were patient enough, you did get your opportunity. Just here. So I wasn't sure. I didn't think, to be honest, I would bother with it, but I'm glad I did in the end. Yeah, I only set a 20 pip TP, so just because I knew once I got to bed, well, once it got to about, I think it was about 7 pip profit, and I went to break even and just let it run. We'll see. Still yet to call one on stream, on the new stream. Yesterday didn't really give us anything. Obviously, the charts were trash. So far, it doesn't look much better. Posted a new video on TikTok. 202 views within about an hour. So that's not bad.
Pretty good game.
Yeah. I think they actually robbed me of a few. I'm pretty sure my phone will say there's a few more than that. Let me suss it out. $212. There you go. Only got one follower on there. How's that? I got 6 likes, 1 follower. And I'm thinking about, and I'm contemplating streaming live on TikTok. What do you think my chances are? It's not about that though, to be honest. What I've found on TikTok, there's not that many streaming in English, first of all, Forex training. And it's just because people constantly flick. So I feel that people are just going to stop and like, oh, this is interesting. What's this guy doing? And that's how you're probably likely to get a few more followers. So maybe observation session when you guys are asleep. Can multi-stream. I think it gave me the option before, but yeah, wasn't sure if it's going to interrupt the YouTube stream, so I'll have to look into it a little bit more. Relax, so gee, you're trying to pull back below now. Once again, I still feel the sell options could be there. However, you'd want a strong closure below. Also, reason being is because we're approaching the London Open. So if we do close within this blue zone, perhaps what we may have just done is grab that liquidity, and we are in that uptrend on the M30 time frame. Definitely, we do have that daily, excuse the lag. Once it actually loads, daily higher low, higher high scenario. So we could just now be pulling back to grab that liquidity before the open to eventually continue to the upside. So that'd be my only concern. So therefore, I definitely want a nice strong closure below if I was to potentially sell GU at the open. As always, I want to see it create that upper wick prior to taking any entry, and then as it begins to break the low of the catalyst candle, look for the potential sell option. GJ crash as is gold. Not sure about you guys, but last week I honestly couldn't find nothing during the London session. It was like this whole week. Only took one trade, and that was Asian session.
Nothing happens.
No, it must be that time of year where the cycles have moved away from London.
Definitely. Like pre-London is better than actual London at the moment.
Yeah, correct. Like an hour before EU, like probably 2 hours or so before the open, you seem to get a little bit more action.
An Asian session's been smashing it, so
yeah, Asian session, well, last week it was, well, the only day actually I had a look at it, it provided and gave a really nice sell on GJ. But yeah, we'll try to do some, yeah, you guys probably relevant to you because you're probably tucked away, but I'll do some Asian streams.
yeah, I might struggle to get to those.
I expect you there, mate. Set the alarm. Don't worry about sleep, you're young enough, mate. Don't worry, wait till you get over 40. I don't know if Steve's in the chat. I don't know if he's still in the chat. Franco. Steve, I'm sure you're over 40. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I know Franco. Yeah. I know you are. Oh, okay, Ben. Excuse me. Yeah, you value your sleep a little bit more once you get to that 40 plus. Okay, interesting. Jenny G, good to have you on board. Welcome. Oh, whoops. So JJ is just all sorts at the moment, has absolutely no idea what it wants to do. See, what I would consider, I did mention it yesterday, but it's nowhere near happening. If, let's just say at the open, if the price was close to this support and we're obviously forming bearish, and if it resembles something like this, I'll just draw it up for you guys because while we're waiting, there's not much going on. It looked a little like this, where we start to approach the support. And perhaps we're starting to lose a little bit of volume as we're approaching. Like so, and then let's just say at the open, so I want to see price actually tap into this zone. The open, what I see from just some testing, price just immediately drops without creating an upper wick, tapping into that zone. What I find is to look for that option as it begins to flip back bullish. I find that is a really, in my opinion, a pretty solid entry to look for a potential buy. You got the tap in to that level of liquidity. You've got no upper wick. You've got the volume in the market. So what you're aiming for is when it flips, it's going to make the move, get you to that, 8 to 10 pips to begin to get to break even and contemplate securing some profits. So that's something I look towards off late. Oh shit, wrong thing. Jenny, how's my day? Steve, you're 50 next year. Wow. Well done, half century. Still young, my friend. Still a young man. 50 years young. But you're fit as a fiddle. Jenny, how's your day? Ah, yeah, good.
I had Steve down in mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
Yeah, mid-30s, early 40s.
Yeah, I thought you'd be a similar age to myself, to be honest. So you're doing well.
That makes you feel better. A little spring in the step today.
That's it. That's going to make you feel better. I'm at afternoon nap stage. I know that feeling, my friend. Sometimes it's not even voluntary. It just happens. 50 is the new 20, Jenny? Oh, exactly, it is. Come on, Jenny, you're not that old. You're a young lady as well. You don't feel 50? Yeah, nor do I. I don't feel my age as well, to be honest. Alright, not the best, I feel, options at the open just now. Keep clicking on the wrong GU chart. Yeah, GU's what's the odds going to close right below that zone? I wouldn't trust it if it did close as is, to be honest. Anyway, back to GJ. Let's just see what happens at the open. Yeah, what I would want to see is the opposite to what I mentioned to a downside, but just automatic, like straight at the open, just pop to the upside without creating a little wick. Then I may have contemplated if there's a begun to pull away and flip back bearish a potential sell option, but I don't. That if I was to execute upon that entry, the rule is it needs to just simply pop straight up without creating that lower wick first. Pop straight up, tap into that zone, and reject. Which obviously it has not done so. It's pretty much done the opposite. But the issue is we're at that top third, right at that resistance. How's it look on the hourly? There's nothing wrong with going through the different time frames, and the hourly's closed back bearish, so that doesn't really give us much of an option if we look for the potential buys based off the hourly time frame. Well, it is now obviously pulling back more significantly into its own candle, bullish candle. Have an hour remaining on the 4 hour as well.
Looking for a way in on EU just then, but 4 hours re-breaking its own lows.
Yeah, so continue down.
But really wanted to
Look at that.
tap in with an upper wick before plummeting down right now, and use that as a stop loss.
Yep, get that 1-to-1. Yeah,
But
exactly.
There's just no way in on that.
No, you just gotta basically just trust it if it. And to me, I know some other streamers would just simply sell it after the closure of that candle as the confirmation, but for me, I would not feel comfortable without that little bit of a pullback. But perhaps the first minute or so, creating that upper wick.
Yeah, 0.4 of a pips pushing it.
just how's that for a stop loss?
What's your stop loss? Half a pip.
Oh mate, imagine that you get taken out by if there is spread on the broker you're using.
Take it out or get some serious R&R.
Oh mate, what's that? Like 1 to
Well,
One to
1 to 7
50?
so far.
what so far? 0.4.
Yeah, if you-
Oh, how many pips has it moved? Oh, okay, it's moved like a pip and a half or so. It looks a lot more, doesn't it?
Be 3.3 mine.
Oh, okay. Not a bad risk to reward.
Yeah.
Half a pip.
Now it's going to come back, make its upper work, or no, No.
Yeah, it becomes more difficult right now. I'd rather it to actually create that clean move down to the support.
Reset itself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 4-hour level, I'm assuming. Technically not just yet. Still not retested that previous zone though, to the left of resistance.
No, it's not really. It could do a sort of pulling back to that.
That 4-hour resistance.
Yeah, 182 area.
Yeah, I agree. Roughly 83, 82, 8250.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, pick probably the worst 2 days to come back to a stream. So far as options, it's just been
That's the way
absolute.
it goes, isn't it?
It is exactly. I'm used to it. I'm obviously used to seeing my hands, being patient.
I also feel like last week was there was a lot of news and a lot of sort of interest rate talk last week, and now I'm wondering, sort of school holidays, post that, is it sort of we're just having a bit of a cool off week? There's not really much news about this week.
No, not during our session. Obviously, it's
like
the
GDP tomorrow.
Yep.
Thursday, sorry.
It's a strange time for well, actually no, it's not. It's late afternoon or US, early evening. Yeah, GDP on Wednesday. Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
Tomorrow we got Aussie CPI. We got obviously later today for you guys consumer confidence, and then Friday it's surely it's a bank holiday in the US.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
You would think so. It's not coming up though. High impact news. Maybe it's not.
Doesn't look like it.
No, I would definitely thought it would be, to be honest. There you go. Maybe it's not.
Then a fairly punchy week next week.
Oh, really?
You've got jolts, unemployment claims, NFP.
Start of a new month as well. Yeah. PMI. Got Euro as well. Aussie. Yeah, jolts. Yeah, it's real. It's stacked, isn't it? Honestly, what I need to do with gold right now, it's absolute trash. It's dog shit. So
It'll be interesting on gold. We can close roughly where we are on the monthly. I mean, God, like where does next month take us?
yeah, well, it's an all-time high, so you'd think it pulled back to grab that liquidity, but if it does begin to flip back bullish, break above. I've heard some economists, some fundamental experts in that say that they think it's going to go up to 5k eventually. Might not be this year, might be in a year or two's time, but I can understand why. I mean, when you look at what's going on, the news and that, and gold being that safe haven asset once again.
How would you trade that though? Because I mean,
I have no idea.
say like once we break off that, just buy.
Just what else can you do? No, it's that you just need to obviously wait for your your structure to form that type of thing. But
So you almost got to let the move go, and
The
then
initial move.
let it crit. Yeah, and then just try and pick up some scraps.
yeah, look, let's just say we come a point in time later this month where next month, sorry, where we're approaching or at that high. Wouldn't necessarily put me off, but I just look for the same catalyst as what I would any other part of any other price on the chart. So, so if I was looking for a continuation buy, wait for the closure above, tap in. There's no reason why it can't continue. Excuse me, guys. So I just play it like that because in the past I've known when I used to avoid, for instance, GJ when I was on a tear to the upside, thinking it's got to pull back, it's made such a big move, and it doesn't. It just continues. So until it shows you otherwise, so until you have the catalyst, that being on either the structure starting to flip or your high time frames closing back in the opposite direction, all you can do is trade the trend. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Without anticipating that it's going to make that pullback and wait for the actual confirmation. It's tempting. It's bloody tempting when price pumps into all-time highs to look for a sell. But if you're to do so, wait for a little bit of strike. Wait for at least some support to form and wait for that closure below support. And if you can, that 4-hour candle at minimum to close back bearish, and use that as your confluence as it creates that lower high, lower low on the new 4-hour.
Knowledge.
There we go. Free knowledge. Dropped. Exactly. Golden nuggets dropped on stream for the 13. Well, Ben's probably on 2 or 3 devices. I'm on one. So there's probably like 8 real people. Well, yeah, 8 or 9. And you've all heard it before. So, actually, I was surprised. I had 120 views on yesterday's stream, which is better than what I expected, to be honest. I thought if it gets 50, that's a good start. So yeah, cheers guys.
What was the max beforehand?
Did you up to
250? 350?
Oh, live, you mean? Live?
Yeah.
Live concurrent? Yeah, about 3. Just over, around 3. Just over 3. But obviously it'll take time. Get a few more subs onto the channel.
How many subscribers are you sort of getting?
Watching the stream, I haven't actually checked the analytics. I was going to do it. I haven't had time. Now I think I'm up to like 80.
Yeah, you got 90.
85 or something. 86. First target 100, then 5, then the 1k.
Yeah,
It's a grind, but I'll get there. Again, I feel I might even have to do it through TikTok and then direct some traffic across, but that's what I have to do. So be it. Give it a crack.
absolutely, mate.
$18 minutes left in this candle, so we're right back at that support. Let's see what GU is up to. Similar to EU, just that no upper wick. I can understand if someone took it, but for me it's just had to close a little bit lower down.
You bullish on GE?
Yeah, the M30 is. Am I? I can't. Let me check this chart. Save me time. Neutral price.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 daily candles got no lower wick on them. And no closed back in the range, the current range.
Daily, you were saying?
Yeah, both my yesterday and today's daily candles, no bottom wick.
Oh really? What broker are you using?
IC markets on.
On IC markets.
You can get IC markets on TradingView now.
Oh no shit. Wow, that's interesting. let me suss that out.
Yeah, boy.
Appreciate it. I see markets. Oh, here it is. You're right. That's
Just it is annoying. You've got to go through your entire list and change it all, but it's
Yeah,
worth it.
true. Well, actually, looking at that, I don't know if it's a little off-putting, to be honest, because the gap to the downside. I was just commenting about how bad it was on Forex.com. So this puts me off a little bit. I might stick to I wonder. FXCM is probably a better option as well, but interesting. Never knew. I see markets.
I found out about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I think they've been on for a while.
Likely. They've probably been there the whole time, but no one's bothered. Just totally ignored it. And to be honest, I wouldn't have known I had no low wick because on the MetaTrader, I don't go through the time frames like I do on TradingView. I know it's going to be different. The price won't be the exact same, but it will look very similar. So if the daily on Forex.com has the lower wick, it's likely going to have it on IC markets. That's what I assume, but obviously not.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to GU selling off a little bit back into that support. Just retest it.
Yeah, I think EU is similar as well. If it does pull back, definitely a good level to buy it. GU looks cleaner. GU looks really clean. If it does pull back to retest that zone, and for sure I'd be looking for potential buy options. EU, yeah, it's a issue of EU. You got it's pretty wide zone. If you were to drag it across, as soon as you break the support, you basically you're out of support to the left. So probably want to see it tap in, pull back, and I like it if it continues down right now. Not if it pulls back up at this point. I'd rather it tap in because again, like I mentioned yesterday on gold, it's always that concern in the back of my mind that this could just be a bit of a pause before it eventually comes back down to actually tap into that zone and then form that support. It's just something I've learned from the past. Sometimes getting in a little bit too early based off one candle when it hasn't quite tapped into the zone that I predetermined I want price to actually pull back to. So that's what I'd be waiting for it to pull back and actually tap into my zone. I mean, the other option is obviously back above the high. Long continuation is clean. Using confluences such as the 4-hour candles, if this candle closes stronger back above that resistance, then your options could be potentially on the new 4-hour candles. The M30 forms a support back above 108,450, or as it begins to break above what will be the previous 4-hour candles high. Well, I had the lovely young lady pop on the stream for a bit. Just a pity she didn't say hello. She just sent a photo, screenshot.
So let's get back on multiple devices. We need the views.
Yeah, exactly. Turn it on the TV, on the laptop, and on your phone. Immediately.
Knock on the neighbour's door and do the same.
Exactly. Actually, they probably look at you and they just shut the door in your face. They're in that particular block. I think opposite us, they're Chinese. They don't speak a word of English or Thai. So God knows how you're supposed to communicate with them. And the one direct neighbor we have next to our room is they're a Russian family, and walked past them once, looked at him to be polite and say hello, and the guy just walked straight past me. And all right, that's how it's gonna be.
Yep, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we've made a little bit too much noise. Keep it PG rated, but
Yep.
GJ. Once again, I'd rather actually break the move now down to that support to give a potential buy option from lower down, or maybe pop back up and then create a bit of exhaustion, pop back up, and then start to close below the current daily low for the potential sells. Also, guys, if anyone has an opinion of what we can perhaps do to maybe, make the stream a little bit different to others, and feel free to voice it. I'm open to anything, really. I'm not going to stream with my top off, though. That's not going to happen. I've seen one dude streams with a mask. I saw that when I was checking out the competition. What are you doing, my friend?
A mask?
Yeah, full balaclava, the full-on balaclava. Mr. James Greenleys, how are you, my friend? Long time. Hope you're well. Yeah, all good. All good, mine. Good to see you back. Thank you. Good to have you on stream. If you ever want a Zoom link to say good day, you're more than welcome. Just let me know. All familiar names, which is good to see. Be nice to have a few unfamiliar names on the stream too, but we'll get there eventually. All good, man, all good. How's the trading going? Take you up? No worries, mate. Anytime. Should be on all week. Obviously not Friday, but other than that. Gold making a bit of a move up. No, back in Oz for the zone. Came back about 10 days ago, I think it was, so. So this is better. Gold needs to just now make a bit of a move. Start to move away from this mess and either reject resistance or even pop above it. And then the options could be to buy it back lower down. Cut through this zone as well. Cut through the resistance, cut through these wicks. The reason why I'm leaving that in is it's the 4 hour zone. It's also the previous daily candle's high. So I really want it to actually pop above and start to close above for the buy option to be comfortable with the potential buy. I'll keep it on gold, seeing it's actually moving. Are you still actively trading, James? If you're out there, if you're listening. like I mentioned yesterday as well, guys, the streams will be longer once obviously daylight savings ends here. It's just it's more suitable time wise for me to stream. For the time being, I'm not gonna stay on stream all that long. But that will obviously change in about a week, 2 weeks from now, a week and a half. James took some time away at beginning of the year, but fully back. Oh, nice one. I hope it's going well. Cardi will love gold reject it once again and see weekly slowly flip to bearish. Yeah, I would like to see if it does reject it, because I feel obviously seeing it's at a resistance, probably closer to a sell option than the buy. You don't want to be buying into resistance. So now if it does reject, then obviously we could potentially, well, moving forward, you guys, maybe if I was to trade into MY, potentially for a sell. On the weekly. Yeah, if it begins to flip, for sure. Yeah, I agree. And also if it rejects what is the current weekly high, it's also rejecting that resistance to the left, so potentially it could still be the highest point. We just need to respect it. It could be the highest point for the weekly candle.
I think I'm gonna dip, mate.
All good, mate. I know you're busy, so I appreciate you for joining.
No dramas. I will catch you later on.
No worries.
Text.
Cheers, mate.
Go well,
Enjoy.
everyone. Catch you in a bit.
Have a good one. Cheers, brother. Jenny, you could have a poker game or bingo going while waiting. My challenge runs poker games, so I thought I would give it a go. Oh, really? I'm shit out of poker though. I haven't played poker since I was a kid. Yeah, I haven't. Say probably not for matches though. Probably when I was about 20, with a few mates for like $10. That was it. That's a suggestion that we can consider. I mean, happy to do analysis on crypto and that as well. If anyone is actually interested in moving forward. Won't bother with it so much just now again until the time changes. Jenny, I'm sure you're looking forward to that as well. Make it lazy for you because over in New Zealand it's what, almost 9:30 right now. You're up at 3:30 AM a lot? 9 out? Wow. Yeah, I'm up early, but not usually that early unless I'm having trouble sleeping. Jeez, you wouldn't be having much sleep then, would you? Especially if you do trade MY. You would have no sleep. Coming towards the closure of the M30, gold is now at that resistance. Just want to see what happens at the open of the new M30, and then I might reassess and maybe call it for today. Excuse me. See that Trey's taken little box there on the stream remains barrel. But to be honest, when I was scoping out sussing out the competition last week, my first proper week back on the charts, they were likewise couldn't find trades on pretty much on the stream. Very difficult because London session was just a mess. Frankie, are you looking at potential G buy? Yeah, I can see what you mean. Seeing it's obviously wicked down into that level of resistance, closing back bullish, potentially bullish, but it's closing with a long wick. If it does, I feel if it does close back around that blue zone, then yes, it could potentially have the option. Also, looking at the 4 hour, it's likely to close a strong bullish candle. It's forming a strong bullish candle. The issue is it's coming to the end of the 4 hour, the last 30 minutes. So you kind of want the move to happen quickly within a new candle. But I think definitely I can see why you're contemplating buy options. Yeah, GJ's just a mess. Alright, so M30 is about to close on gold. I'm not interested in buying because you're buying it at the resistance and it's also the 4 hour resistance. This candle's creating its upper wick. We would contemplate a sell. The issue is this: there is no stop loss. I have no idea where to place a stop loss at the moment. I'm not keen on placing above the zone, that's for sure. So I think with gold at this stage, it's just a matter of sitting out waiting to see if we do get the confirmation, or if come close to MY, or MY starts to get the confirmation, a bit of rejection, a bit of structure form. Alright, so in that case, I'm likely just going to wrap it up, guys, because I want to be off shortly anyway, so I can prepare my dinner. It's starting to get late here. So I'll wrap it up. You're in? Let me look. That's a nice closure. Yep. Alright, so that's looking good. Looking good. Only thing is stop loss. But having said that, it's not wide. It's not wide at all. It just looks a lot wider than what it is. These ranges are very shallow at the moment. The volume, I mean, sometimes this candle will be a 30 pip candle when you look at it, and this candle in itself is about 7-8 pips. Yeah, 7 pips. So it's really not a great deal of volume. But yeah, it's looking good. Looking good, my friend. I think that's a pretty solid entry. All right. So anyway, looking at first of all gold. So gold now that 4 hour resistance. So not interested in buying it into resistance because we could reject at any point. Seeing it is the 4 hour level, it is more significant. So therefore, I would rather wait for, if first of all the buy option, if it cuts through and we create a nice clean move coming through the 4 hour resistance, popping above it, and if we pull back to create that higher low on the M30, start to form a bit of structure, wait for the new 4 hour candle, obviously. So this candle to close, be good if it closes strong bullish just now, and then as we pull back to form that support on the 4 hours, as long as we really remain above the resistance, then I would still look potentially for the buy. So you want this candle to close strong, because that's at least a catalyst in itself, because it's closing above the bodies of the candles here to the left, which obviously we have not done so until this potentially this candle. So if it does close up a little bit higher, and then you look for that pullback on the M30 to form that support within this gray zone, I would still consider the buy option. Otherwise, the other option is simply wait for it to actually close above on the 4 hour, sorry, on the M30 at 4 hour resistance. Tap in continuation for the buyers. As I mentioned earlier for the sells, let's just see how it reacts to this zone. Start to form a bit of structure once again at the 4 hour resistance, and you're just waiting for a little bit of, obviously, a sequence of those lower highs, lower lows, and potentially once we start to close below support and maybe even below that previous back in the range below. Not necessarily though, could happen within the gray zone, the sell option, but ideally you want it to start to pop back below 21.76 and potentially look for the sells to take it back down. Buys, once again, preferences is for it to come down to the 4 hour support. However, we're forming another support just now on the 4 hour with this candle in the next 25 minutes, so you could actually draw in another support now at this point here on the 4 hour time frame. So having said that, if we pull back to around that 21.72 level to grab some more liquidity, see, we've made that clean move up. We're starting to cut open this range, which was prior to it very choppy. We make that clean move down and we look for our catalyst in price action. You guys know what I'm talking about. Your engulfing candles, your liquidity candles, your bit of consolidation to form, and a little closure above the consolidation. Look for your continuation. Feel like could be a good potential option for a buy on gold moving forward. Now let's take a look at GJ just quickly. Yeah, at this stage it's just a matter of waiting for it to clear this range. It is an absolute pigsty within here. The more data it prints, as I mentioned before, the more choppy it becomes, the less probable I feel it would be to trade this particular range. So confluences for the buys will be, well, you got at that point daily higher low, higher high, the previous strong bullish candle. Structure wise it is bullish. You also have the 4 hour creating that break of consolidation, high low, breaking above the resistance, and that again will provide enough confluence for the buy option. As for the sells, we've formed support at this point within the current daily candle, which is actually the current daily candle's low. If we are to continue bullish, we should respect it. No need to break it. As soon as we begin to pop below it, close below it, tap in, reject it, clean the sells at that point there. And that is what I'd be looking at. How's G going? Nice one, brother. You're looking good. Nice entry. See, I'm looking to the left though and seeing we're tapping into that zone. I know it's not a great deal of margin, but it is a potential rejection point. So you contemplate getting to break even at that point, or I don't know, securing, you might, if you've got your 1-to-1, who knows? That could be an option. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna head off. Once again, if you could hit the like button if you have not done so, please feel free to do so. Yeah, it should be right for a NY update video. Possible Asian stream if anyone is up. I'll see, it might be on TikTok, but anyway, I'll keep you guys all posted on through the various social media outlets. Make sure you are following. Yeah, Tommy, good day to you. Have a good one.
Okay, Justin, have a nice day, mate.
Appreciate it. Cheers, mate. Franco as well, good day to you. And to the rest of the chat, Jenny, Steve, James,
Thank you. Bye.
Cardi, cheers, mate. Tony, if you're still there, Geek News 54K for JMO, any of you guys still there, thank you for joining Dream Lifestyle, and of course Ben, and I shall see you guys again. I'll be on tomorrow. Hopefully the charts are a bit better, gives us a little bit more options, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. Alrighty guys, take care, have a good one, cheers, bye for now.